Did the president do the right thing in canceling the summit? And what do you think now of his announcement that the summit could be back on?
Well, I think the president has been more effective than any of his three predecessors in getting North Korea and their strong relationship China in a better place than they've ever been. You know, and this good cop, bad cop scene setting behavior that's been going on for about a year and a half seems to have put us in a pretty good spot. So, you know, whether he holds the meeting or not, the key is not to want it too bad. Be ready to have a Khrushchev moment if things don't go our way.
Having said that, President Trump yesterday made sure to emphasize that the military is ready if necessary regarding North Korea. Does that give you pause for concern when it comes to the fact that presidents can wage war at any time?
Well, obviously, we're all concerned about the explosive situation in North Korea. We're concerned that they've got ballistic missiles, and we hope we don't have to defend ourselves against them. But it's important that the United States maintain its readiness, and that's all part of showing North Korea that we mean business. I sure hope we don't have to use them.
So, Congressman, I want to go back to your statement that he's done better and taken it farther than his three predecessors. We had a deal, we thought, with North Korea back in the 90s under President Clinton, as I recall. We thought we had them to denuclearize. And the fact is, it turned out they were cheating on that deal from the moment we signed it, as far as we can determine. Even if we could get to a deal, which we haven't yet, how can you possibly verify with this regime?
Well, I think that's the whole deal. And it's a problem with part of the Iran agreement, too. You don't have an arrangement concerning nuclear weapons that can't be verified. These aren't people that can be trusted. And that not only happened in the Clinton era, it happened in the Bush administration, too. They closed some obsolete nuclear reactor that they were going to have to close anyway.
Then what are we pursuing here? Because it appears that we can't get a deal with Iran that we could verify. We can't get a deal with North Korea that can verify. How can you ever get a deal that you can truly verify with a regime that wants to really subvert it?
Well, we've argued in our committee that publicly that we could have got a better deal with Iran, and we can, and hopefully, if we get a deal with North Korea, it will not have some of the holes that the agreement with Iran has, like prepaying them for their half of the deal before we make them perform.
What about the fact that the president is now linking geopolitics with trade? What risks does that strategy carry?
Well, geopolitics is always linked with trade. I have actually spoken to the president that in my opinion, multilateral trade relationships are very important aspects of security, and that they have a value that's distinct from the economic aspects of them.
The administration pushing for auto tariffs, sending some of the U.S. allies to maybe to the arms of U.S. rivals like China. We have seen German Chancellor Angela Merkel in Beijing. Is that a concern that countries like China, countries like Russia could get the upper hand?
Well, if it were up to me, I would be focusing on the things where China is the most inimical to the United States. IP, technology issues, where they have reversed engineered some of our things. They've stolen our patents. I wouldn't be worried so much about more of the hard commodities that drive industry around the world.
Well, that is a position we've heard from various CEOs. Business community often says exactly that. But is that the approach the administration is taking? Because it seems that as time goes on, this is more a matter of tariffs on particular goods rather than really trying to change their procedures on IP, their protection for IP.
I know. It's befuddling that they have taken these measures that could cause some serious damage to the supply chains all around the world. And I'm a little bit befuddled by what do we get from helping that telephone company that the military and the intel people say they won't let our people use those phones.
Well, so what do they say when you talk to them? I mean, you're from the same party. You have foreign relations responsibilities. When you say these things to the administration, what is their response?
They're focused on the trade deficits with various countries, like you've read about with China and Mexico. And so we've been trying to figure out how we can have a dialogue about reducing the trade deficit in some areas without undermining, the basic economics of NAFTA, the basic economics of our importation from China.